Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. This is Beth Caldwell, and I'd like to welcome you to another gathering of Monday Morning Mastermind. And this week, I want to talk to you about excellence versus perfection. Now, when I first heard about this concept, I was in my mid-30s, and I attended a success workshop, some kind of a personal development workshop, where the speaker talked about seeking excellence instead of perfection. And when I heard that presentation, it was just like such a sense of relief to myself that I could stop just beating myself up constantly trying to make things perfect. And I really, really resonated with the idea of being a woman of excellence instead of being a perfectionist. And I want you to think about that a little bit this week. Are you striving for perfection? This is something that all high achieving women do. We struggle with this perfection complex and wanting things to be perfect and worrying about how things are going to look if they go out and they're not perfect. But I have to tell you, if you build your reputation as someone who strives for excellence, you are going to begin to feel a lot better about releasing that need for perfection. But it's something that I still continue to, I don't want to say struggle with, but I would say cope with and deal with. And for example, the Monday Morning Mastermind. You know, my intention was to launch this. First of all, I bought the domain name mondaymorningmastermind.com many years ago. I'm going to say probably 8 or 9 years ago, I had the idea, Kevin, we can figure it out. I think Kevin was in 11th grade, and we were watching an episode of NCIS and together and talking, and the idea came to my mind, and I went over to GoDaddy, and I was like, wow, that domain name's available. So I had the idea years ago, and I knew that I wanted to do it, but I didn't feel that I was ready for it. I didn't feel that I was qualified for it. But eventually, about a little more than a year ago, I made the decision that I was going to launch Monday Morning Mastermind in January of 2019. And January 2019 came and went, and I said, you know, my email newsletter isn't quite what I want it to be. My website isn't quite what I want it to be. I don't have a professional microphone. I don't have professional lighting. Let me get this, let me get this, let me get this. And I kept putting it off. And in July of 2019, my nephew died suddenly and tragically. And it was during that funeral that I thought about a lot of things in my life. And I thought, you know, and when anybody dies, we remember how fragile life is and how quickly things can change. And I think that the death of that child affected so many people, and it changed so many people's paths. And for me, one of the results of that death was the very next day after the funeral, I started Monday Morning Mastermind, and we haven't missed a week since then. And I've been very determined to do it, even though the lighting wasn't right. And even though if you go back to July, you will see the quality of the videotape wasn't right. We keep making improvements and we'll continue to get better. But the point is that Paul and I were talking about this today. And as we look back over the last 6 months in business, I've gotten some significant, impressive new clients as a result of doing this. And what if I had waited? I still don't have the lighting that I want. I still don't have the microphone that I want. I still don't have like a, sort of a fake background. And I still continue to want to have that. But what I'm working on here is excellence, not perfection, and getting it out every single week. So my question for you today is, what are you really wanting to do, but you're putting it off because you want things to be perfect? Listen, the world is waiting for your gifts. You have a gift. And with you holding it back and holding it back and holding it back until things are perfect, you're robbing yourself of being able to give back to your clients and to the world at large. And you're also robbing them from hearing your message. Maybe your message isn't video, maybe it's something else. But what can you do this week that you've been putting off because you've been waiting for things to be exactly perfect? Please take a step forward in that this week. Please let me know what it is. I so appreciate when you all write to me and post under the video and let me know that this has motivated you. So I hope that you will think of me and think of my sweet nephew and take a step and release that need to be a perfectionist woman and get your message out there. I'm Beth Caldwell. This is Monday Morning Mastermind, where I share tips for women in both life and business because we don't separate the two. You have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.